Why do you often opt for close-ups of the people you're filming?
I'm interested in people. I make both fiction and documentary, and what I really like to make films about is people, their emotions, their lives, even in the middle of huge political events. I can study a face endlessly if I'm interested in someone, see all the emotions that pass on their face. So this is very intuitive to me, and I realize that I really can only film people I love. I fall in love with my characters, and I film them like I love them. I'm interested in what they say, I'm interested in what they feel. I want you to connect with them. And so that's why I film them in close-up, but also the iPhone helped with this, because with the iPhone you really had to be, like I was usually physically closer to my characters than we are now, because you're filming me now with a long lens, and so we're far away. But I was sitting with my characters with, I had a little extra lens on the iPhone, but I still had to be about this far apart, which also created a feeling with the characters because they got close to my proximity, and it also helped the intimacy because we weren't, very often people film documentaries and they do film with a longer lens from very far away, and the people, it's like they're studying them. Sometimes you see in close-up, but they're under a microscope magnified. But I was really filming them physically close, and I think that's a huge part of the film.
Это Эдик.
Ловите его! Ты сделал красивые фотографии.
Я не подписал протокол.
Давай, поработай, ты сидел в тепле. На фоне полиции, пожалуйста. Да. Что
И дай мне сигу,
быстренько. Потом покуришь.
Нет, да я покурю.
Ты
знаешь, сколько часов я не курил?
What role do silences play in your film?
So first of all, my other 3 films that I've made are full of silence. There is more dialogue in the first hour of this film than in all my previous 3 films combined, because for the most part, there was no silence at the beginning. These girls, they speak nonstop. They speak very fast. They have so much to say, and they're so full of life and so full of energy, and they're talking nonstop. We actually, when we were editing, we had to look for moments of like a 1-second silence because they never take pauses. They just talk and talk and talk and talk. And then the silence appears when the war starts, when in the morning that Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, February 24th, 2022, they suddenly are at a loss for words. They have these people who were so full of words suddenly they're stunned. They have nothing to say. And silence appears with the full-scale war. And I think that's really how it was. I mean, it's not a matter of editing. It's not a matter of something that I imposed. It's literally what happened to these people who had all the words and suddenly had no words. All of the journalists, when I started filming them, they thought something would happen to them. They were all trying to figure out, is the time to leave tomorrow or was the time to leave yesterday? And they were trying to stay as long as possible and continue to work in their country. And they expected the monster to eat them. What they didn't expect is that the monster would invade the neighboring country. And when Russia invaded Ukraine fully, all independent media was shut down within 1 week of the full-scale war, and all of my characters had to leave the country. Most of my characters left the country with they decided to leave. They left 4 hours later with a carry-on suitcase.
Why did you choose to focus on conviviality moments in your film?
For me, it's a film about community, about love, about friendship, about a lot of people have like very strong work friendships there, and they're constantly laughing and supporting each other and hugging each other through times. And this is life. This is how terrible things work, is they happen to real people, and this is the experience of life to me, and that's what I'm always interested in. I always say that, like, for a film about political repression in a cold place, it's a very warm and funny film. It's kind of strange, but it is. For me, it's a pleasure because I get to film people that I respect, that I enjoy being with, that I find smart and funny, and I think it's important also. Humor is a huge part of the film. And that's, I think, also what makes the film, is in the middle of darkness, they're constantly using dark humor to deal with it. And I think it's not like some serious, it's a film about very serious issues, but it's a film about people's lives, and they're dealing with it by laughing and joy and laughter. I know at the beginning of the festival, Catherine Bizarre said something about joy and laughter being a part of resistance, and that's very much part of the way the film works. It is using joy and laughter as resistance.
Если вас нет в реестре агентов и всяких врагов, не беда, и вам там есть место. Даже если нет, у вас иностранных счетов, а жаль.